Most people think economic success comes from big countries, the United States, China, Germany, Brazil. But what if one of the most stable and quietly successful economies in the world belongs to a country with just 3.5 million people? A country most people can't even point to on a map. Uruguay. No headlines, no global dominance, no flashy economic boom. And yet, behind the scenes, Uruguay has been quietly building something extremely rare. A stable, growing, and increasingly wealthy economy in one of the most volatile regions on Earth. So the question is simple. How is Uruguay doing this? And why is almost no one talking about it? Chapter 1. A country that stayed calm. To understand Uruguay, you first have to understand South America. Many countries in the region have experienced currency crashes, political instability, inflation cycles, debt crises. But Uruguay chose a different path. For decades, Uruguay focused on something far less exciting but far more powerful: stability. While other economies swung up and down, Uruguay built strong democratic institutions. Governments changed, but the system remained stable. Policies stayed predictable. Contracts were respected. Institutions remained strong. And in the world of economics, predictability is extremely valuable because investors don't just chase growth, they chase certainty. And Uruguay became one of the most certain economies in Latin America. Chapter 2. A small but balanced economy. Uruguay doesn't rely on one single industry. Instead, it built a balanced economy across multiple sectors. Agriculture is one of its strongest foundations. Beef, soy, rice, and dairy products are exported globally. Uruguay is actually one of the world's top exporters of beef per capita. But it doesn't stop there. Forestry has become a major export industry. Large plantations supply timber and pulp to global markets. And in recent years, Uruguay has developed a growing service and tech sector, especially in software development, IT outsourcing, financial services. The key here is not explosive growth, it's diversification. Because when one sector slows down, others keep the economy stable. And that stability creates long-term confidence. Chapter 3. The energy transformation. One of Uruguay's most impressive achievements is its energy transformation. In just over a decade, the country radically changed its energy system. Today, Uruguay generates most of its electricity from renewable sources: wind, hydropower, solar, biomass. At times, the country runs on nearly 100% renewable electricity. This matters more than most people realize, because energy independence reduces import costs, price volatility, inflation pressure. And it also attracts international companies looking for stable, low-carbon energy sources. In a world shifting toward sustainability, Uruguay positioned itself early, not with massive headlines, but with long-term planning. Chapter 4. Why investors are paying attention. Global investors usually look for three things: rule of law, economic stability, low corruption risk. Uruguay consistently ranks among the best in Latin America in all three categories. That makes it extremely attractive for real estate investors, agricultural funds, technology companies, long-term foreign capital. While other countries in the region experience uncertainty, Uruguay offers something rare: a predictable environment. Some analysts even refer to Uruguay as Latin America's Switzerland, not because it is wealthy on a global scale, but because it is stable, reliable, and low risk. And in global finance, that combination is powerful. Chapter 5. Slow growth, strong foundations. Uruguay is not trying to become a global superpower. It is not chasing hypergrowth. It is not relying on speculative bubbles. It is not built on debt-driven expansion. Instead, its strategy is simple: grow slowly, stay stable, build trust. And over time, that approach compounds. Because while fast-growing economies often collapse or reset, stable economies quietly accumulate wealth over decades. Uruguay is now seeing the results of that strategy: stronger institutions, higher foreign investment, more diversified industries, and increasing global relevance. Not because of one breakthrough, but because of thousands of small, consistent decisions over time. Uruguay may never become a global economic giant, but that was never the goal. Instead, it is proving something more important: that in a world full of volatility, stability itself can become a form of wealth. And sometimes, the quietest countries are the ones building the strongest future.